Hi Nanika, heartiest
Hello.
congratulations on your success in NMAT 2020-21 exam. So
Thank you so much.
it would be great if you could share a few words of wisdom with our users at GradeUp and contribute to their preparation journey to the top B schools.
That
So
would be my pleasure, sir.
right. So first thing everyone would like to know, why did you choose MBA as a career?
So I was always inclined to work in corporate sector, corporate life. I have seen my father in it, and I have quite been fascinated with the work culture of corporates that they have and better career prospect. And when I was doing my BCom, I realized I don't have many options just by doing BCom. I need a master's degree to broaden my horizons and to get different profiles. So that's when I decided I need a master's degree. And MBA, I researched more about MBA, the job, the work culture that you get after you pursue an MBA degree. I've seen my elder sister is in doing MBA. So after I did my research and all that, I realized maybe MBA is the thing for me, and that could be something I would be enjoying doing that.
Right.
So that's why.
So when did you start preparing for MBA exams?
I actually started my coaching and proper preparation in January 2019 when I was in my final year of college. But due to my college and all other things, the preparation didn't go as planned. So after that year, I didn't get in any of the good colleges. So after my graduation in 2020, I was in home. That's when I started the extensive preparation for my MBA during the COVID lockdown. I was in my hometown, so at home only I started my preparation. So it was around April 2020.
Right. So please explain in detail your preparation strategy for different subjects. How
Um,
you prepared for quant, how you prepared for LRDI, how you prepared for verbal ability.
um, for quants, I think conceptual clarity is a must. So most of the topics that we have in quants are from our 11th and 12th standard. So I decided let me go back to my 11th and 12th standard. I clear my concept because in school also I was quite weak in mathematics. So I realized that I need to work on it the most. So I saw certain books from that standard. Then I took a bit of help from some certain tutorials from YouTube. I contacted some of my teachers to teach me certain topics which I was weak in. So that's how I tried to clear my concept as much as I could in fonts. For verbal, I think it is more about reading and improving your vocabulary. So I tried reading as much as I can. I tried solving passages, and I think vocabulary can be increased just by reading. So I read a lot of things so
Right.
that I can learn new words through that. And for LRDI, I was just focusing on solving more and more questions and to find certain shortcuts and work on them. And I think for LRDI, there is no certain hard and fast rule of solving any question. It's more about how you approach the question yourself. So I was working on that by solving questions.
Being being a student of Ramjas College, I am sure verbal ability won't be an issue for you, right? But still, many
Yeah,
students who are doing BCom or are commerce grads do have a feel that they really struggle in either quant or LRDI. So, how was your journey for quant? I hope it was pretty easy for you, or you really found it difficult that you just
I
carried
ac-
it.
I actually found quants to be a bit difficult and tricky for me. As I told you, I wasn't really good in mathematics ever in my school life and in my college. So I was struggling in mathematics quite a bit. So I decided to, clear all my concepts. I lacked in conceptual clarity. My concepts weren't clear, and that was making me struggle a lot in quants. So
Right.
I think if people who have been doing good have done good in their schools, have clear concepts in quants, they won't find it difficult. But for somebody like me who lacked in conceptual clarity, it becomes a bit of a struggle. to,
Right.
manage quants.
So, if I talk about the time you have spent in your preparation for any of the exam, quantitative ability must have consumed most of the time, or was there some
Yeah.
balance between all sections while studying?
Um, I know quants consume most of my time, quants and LRDI, because it needs a lot of practice to, get that speed. So that was the two section I, focused more on. And verbal, I did practice verbal, but less than the other two sections.
Okay,
Right.
so in general, how many hours you studied in last 1 year on an average per day?
Um, it was around 6 hours of dedicated study. I
Right.
mean, I'm not somebody who can, sit for like 10, 12 hours continuously. Whatever time I study, 6 hours, it's just pure dedication towards studies, no, nothing, no disturbances in between.
And out of these 6 hours, how many hours were spent in quant, in LRDI, and in verbal ability? What
It
is the
would
breakup
be,
of time?
it would be, if you can say, 2 hours for LRDI,
Right.
and it would be around only 1 hour for verbal and the other
So
3 hours for
3 hours
quants.
for quant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So very, very well done. So, what was your strongest area and what was the weakest? And how did you uh, you know, overcome your weakness? That is something everyone needs to know. So now I can clearly see that your strength area was verbal ability and your
Yes.
weaker section was quant, because accordingly you
Yes.
have devoted the time also. Right?
Yes.
And every student must focus on this thing, that while preparing for any MBA entrance exam, you must divide your time in accordance to your strengths and weaker areas. If you guys
Yeah.
come across that, let's say verbal is your weaker area, give more time to it, but it does not mean that you will skip entire time of your quant or DILR preparation, right?
Yes.
So Nanika has done a very wonderful job while distributing the time to all three sections. She has not skipped time from one section and given total time to some other section, right? So that balance is very much required. So good job, Nanika, good job. So now, if I talk about specifically, what was your strategy for the last 2 weeks before the exam?
For the last 2 weeks, you just solve as many questions as you can, give as many mocks that you can, because you need to have an idea of the real-time scenario that happens during the exam. You need to be quick with your solutions. You need to keep track of the time that you have for an exam. So you need to give mocks and solve previous year questions so that you have an idea about what kind of a question are asked in a particular exam. Every exam has its own set of questions and own areas of questions. So I think practicing a different range of questions and giving mocks was my strategy for the last 2 weeks.
Right. So how different was the new pattern, right? Because this year NMAT has changed, and how did it impact your preparation?
The new pattern was quite I found it quite tricky when I was appearing for the first adoptive mock, because you don't have any option to go back to a particular question. So you cannot think that, okay, I'm not solving this question this time, I may come back to it later, because you have no idea what kind of questions are ahead. So it was very confusing. Also, the difficulty level goes on increasing as you are attempting the questions right throughout the exams. So it was quite difficult to adjust with it, but yeah, I mean, it was okay. And later on, when I attempted my paper for the second time, I actually thought that it is a better pattern than the previous year, and that I think it's a better way to conduct NMAT. So I was really happy. First, it took a certain time to adjust to it, but once you get hold of the pattern, when you understand it completely, you will find it that it's easier. It's better.
Technically, it is a better way of testing
Yeah.
the student, right? So It is as per the need of the student, wherein you are testing the student. So it's a very
Yes,
wonderful idea. That's why GMAT is also conducted on the very same lines.
yes.
Okay, so if I talk about NMAT specifically, the papers you attempted in first as well as in second attempt, which section did you find the easiest or the toughest one?
Um, though my verbal was quite strong, but in terms of difficulty level, I think logical reasoning was quite easy. I found it really easy to solve the questions. The sets were easy. The input output questions, we got two sets. They were very basic. They were calculations in it, but it was, I think, one of the easiest sets in the whole logical reasoning paper. Also, it was the questions weren't lengthy. You need not need a lot of time to solve the sets. It was quite easy to solve and less time consuming.
Right.
And on the other hand, English was also fine, but the passages I thought were a bit time consuming. And in my first attempts that I went wrong with the passages, I devoted a lot of time in my passages, and in the end I could not attempt 3 questions.
Okay.
And there is a penalty marks if you leave any question unattempted in the end in NMAT. So I think that reduced my score in my first attempt. So later on I realized you should not devote a lot of time reading the passages. It can it can be problematic towards the end of the paper.
Right. So very well done, very well done. So we and each and every student would like to know, how did GradeUp help you in your preparation? Which feature of GradeUp helped you the most?
The mock test of GradeUp is really nice. I purchased their package for an NMAT exam. I gave a lot of mock tests there. The questions were really, similar to what they asked in the actual exam. They were actually in the same lines of the NMAT actual exam that they conduct. So if you are targeting particularly NMAT, because I purchased NMAT package from GradeUp only, so it's really helpful. If the questions are really similar, the interface is really nice, and you actually feel like you are attempting your NMAT exam. And this year NMAT had the online proctored feature also.
Yes.
So while you're appearing for GradeUp mock test in your home, you actually get an idea about how your actual exam is going to be and how it will be conducted. So it really helps you to prepare with all of that.
So any advice that you would like to share with your fellow aspirants so that they can do well in the exam?
Whatever my preparation was, I would just say consistency is the key. Be consistent with your preparation, and you need not to devote equal time to all the 3 sections.
So Nanika, any advice that you would like to share with your fellow aspirants so that they can also do well in NMAT exam?
According to my preparation, I would say that firstly, as everybody says, consistency is the key. And I think you need not to devote equal time in all the 3 sections. As per my experience, I was weak in quants, so I needed more time there. Verbal was my strong section. So preparation can be done in a lesser amount of time. So plan according to your own, knowledge and what you think is your weaker area, what is your stronger area, devote time according to that, and please give mocks. Without mocks, I think no competitive exam can be cleared. Mocks are a really essential feature while you're preparing for MBA or any other competitive exam. Solve as many questions as you can and just be confident about your attempts. That's all.
So guys, please keep in mind the advice that Nanika has given. One thing is for very sure, that you need not to be a mathematician to get 250 marks. So she is among one of the toppers of NMAT, right? And will be joining Narsi Monji Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai very soon. So if you are also working with pure dedication towards your goal, then definitely each one of you will be able to get good marks in the competitive examination. So we at GradeUp are always there to help you out with your preparation. If you need any assistance from GradeUp, please you all are welcome to join us, right? So let's congratulate Nanika once again and wish
Thank you.
very best for your future endeavors. So we are sure that you will be doing excellent work in your entire life. So thank you, Nanika,
Thank
for
you
your
so much.
time and advice to all the
My
students.
pleasure.